Welcome. Hi, Karina, and welcome to this week's episode. Sounds like our voices are starting to recover.
We are back. We are back. Almost 100%. Awesome.
Excellent. So what's our bad work story for this week?
Well, this week I have one that I think we can dissect from a couple of levels here. So this is cool. So the situation is a member of the maintenance staff of an organization, right, who had been in the employment, like same role, same organization, forget this, 40 years,
Whoa.
had a significant birthday, and none of the senior leadership team acknowledged it. They said they were too busy. It was completely forgotten. Yep.
Crazy stuff.
And then we get the next one, right? Which is when the global CEO found out about it. He was absolutely mortified, and then went all out to add this person into some award ceremony, etc. And he said to me when we were discussing it, he said, they will never forget my tone, and this will never happen again.
Oh, naughty. They've been told off.
Yes, yeah. So that's what we're going to be working with this week.
Wow. So it seems like the CEO kind of dived in to, sort it out as the superhero.
He sure did, yeah, and we can dissect, and of course, that's one perspective, and you could say, hey, at least someone did something, right?
Exactly,
and I'm sure the person involved, in the special, ceremony, etc., will be well valued and appreciated, which is nice, and there are other perspectives that could have also, given people choice, or there are different ways that we could have done something about this. So
how can we make this good then?
Well, let's get into it. So on the first level, so let's look at the first level, shall we, which is the fact that that a significant birthday for someone who has been part of the fabric of your organization is completely ignored, bypassed, forgotten about.
Yeah.
And so I think, when I heard this, I thought are these people not using anything automated, use technology to help you, like a group calendar, for God's sake?
Exactly.
Like significant birthdays, anniversaries, years. I mean, am I crazy in thinking that's kind of basic? But maybe for some, some structures and systems, it isn't, kind of known. I mean, what have you done in the past?
Well, I mean, definitely a group calendar is a great idea. And then, it's not the responsibility of one person. We don't need a chief birthday officer. I think, we need to be mindful that, this is a team thing. And, it's a real evidence to me that some of the breakdown that's going on in the social fabric of our organizations. I think we've really lost some of the basic capability to be in relation with each other. And I think that's partly a COVID thing. We sort of got exiled away and bringing ourselves back together for just something that I would call as a simple human connection, a birthday. It's something joyous that we can share together. We do spend a lot of time together at work, and our people are very important to us. So why wouldn't we be able to just keep track of a birthday? It doesn't seem it happens once a year for each person. So
it's kind of a great example of the system supporting, the culture.
Yes,
that
indeed.
if we do say that people are valued. Which was the case in this organization, and that we have a caring, culture, then something definitely did not go well here, right?
Yeah.
And I think, maybe some people listening might go, well, what's the big deal? It's only a birthday. And it's kind of like, well, that's one perspective. And I kind of find that people either go to one end of the continuum, which is get over yourself, it's only a friggin' birthday, to the other end of the continuum, which is, oh my God, I forgot your birthday, there's drama and guilt. And, it's kind of those, those kind of default big reactions that happen.
Yeah.
And yet, what I found with people who kind of take the perspective of, oh my God, it's just a birthday, get over yourself, it's kind of, there still is, when you just dissect that element of hurt, that maybe they've actually had their birthdays forgotten, and it's just, it's kind of like in some cultures it's called your name, like there's also another piece called your name day, it's this is, where you get to be seen, to be valued, to be appreciated, all those things that we so often talk about in culture.
Yes.
So, and there's different ways of doing that. So what are some of the best ways that you've seen,
Yeah, well, one of the ways that we've done it is like a monthly birthday party, because obviously, sometimes this can be like a birthday every second day, it seems, and eating cake every second day may not be a healthy option. It doesn't mean that you don't recognize the person on their birthday, so they can definitely put balloons on their desk, and in this organisation we did a lot of decorating of people's workspaces, which can be fun, and making sure that there's a fuss made of them on their day. But monthly we'd come together to recognise and acknowledge, celebrate the people with cake and a morning tea, which again is a nice way to get together as a team, or it could be a wider team, whichever way you want to do it, and have the cake. So that's one way that I've seen it done well.
Yeah, that's lovely. And I would add to that, I've also seen, like obviously all the normal stuff that goes on. But a different way too I've seen is where people actually get to go out and nominate a volunteer, like group activity for the team, which is really interesting. What's a meaningful way that we can be of service, to a community, or, to something that the birthday person, it's important to them, but of course, on scale that might be a little bit more more difficult to organise.
Another thing that we've done is done team picnics, so a group lunch, lunch to do something sort of outside, so the birthday person doesn't have to bring their lunch. But those of us, and I've been very lucky to be blessed with teams that do bake very well. So there would be cakes, or there would be special lunch things provided, and we would just get together outside, which again is something we can do in a beautiful environment of New Zealand. So we're often able to get to an outside space very quickly, and it's just a fun thing to do. Sit outside and have some time together.
And it occurs to me that there'll be some introverts in our listening audience who go, "Oh my God, this just sounds so terrible." Yeah, I don't want to be noticed, I don't want a fuss being made. Yeah. And of course, this is, the difference is, it's not the size or the scale of the recognition. No. It's the fact that people are recognized, and that can be done in a very, in a way that's appropriate to, to the person that you're with, right? And that's part of knowing the person. Exactly. How can we tailor? How can we personalize this? So I think there's lots of great work that that people do, and that can happen if this is a bit of a gap in your organization.
Totally. So what about the second level then? The global CEO's reaction, Mr. Superhero.
So this is the piece that was really interesting to me, which was the intervention of the CEO and his default reaction, right? To kind of claim the recovery, and of course it's a nice thing to do, but to actually take it on as he was the one to make all of this happen. Yeah. And for me, it's a huge missed opportunity to really use this as a this is just a symptom of something greater. It's like, excuse the pun, this is the icing on the cake. That this is just, this has been kind of, the symptom that's happening there. Like, we're too busy to recognize people. So what the hell is it going on with this organization that, that there was almost this machine-like kind of, well, we're too busy to be human.
Yeah.
The humanity of your culture.
Totally. So exactly. So how we go about, sorting this one out?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple of options, that could be applied, which is, and again, there's no right or wrong way. It's just like, how can you dig deeper? How can you be curious and have an inquiry as opposed to not go after the blame or, the punishment kind of cycle where, like, look at this as, like, what's happened? Like, how did we get here? I think it's a great question. How did we get here, guys?
That's right.
That one of our people, that this happened,
Totally.
like, how did we, the collective responsibility, and, get there? And, I think there's some great questions that you could ask around, how do we get there? How do we feel? Having got here, how are we all feeling? I'm sure there's guilt, shame. Some people may have completely numbed out, like, so what? Like, the results is the only thing that's important. We keep going. What can we learn from this? What actions need to be taken? And I think another interesting piece would be, how is the CEO role modeling or lack of role modeling to the senior leadership group?
Yeah, and I would also say that, potentially as a leader, you need to manage your overreact. I mean, it is a symptom. So let's not go overboard. I mean, it's definitely something to be concerned about for sure, but let's not overreact about, birthdays, because how are you going to cope when there's a real financial crisis on hand? It's like, as you say, role modeling and working as a team to actually work on culture, and looking at, how did we get here, and solving together other than being the superhero, I need to solve it for you, because that's not a leadership culture we want to engender.
Yeah, I mean, the team, he took away the opportunity for the team to actually problem solve, get creative, and own the solution.
Yes, that's right.
And part of that would be making amends or some form of recovery, acknowledgement.
Yes.
Like, and then how do they trickle down or trickle up, the insights.
Yes.
After individual and group reflection, what are the insights that are coming up about, holy moly, we are so far off the friggin' trails here.
That's right.
That if we really want to be authentic and an integrity and coherent to our culture, well, we need to course correct and get back on track. Yeah. So, it's a fantastic opportunity to just say, like, push pause and do the debrief and get real.
Learning, learning together.
I worry about burnout and overwhelm with this particular example.
Yeah.
So where does it end?
As I say, it's definitely that evidence of that social fabric. So at all levels, where it's breaking down, fix it wherever you're at. If you're in the leadership team, then take time to work together on your own culture. And rebuild that, as and then that will echo out and ripple out to your other teams. So,
and we love a good ripple.
We do love a ripple.
We love a good ripple. We try to stop the bad ones, but we do love a good ripple. So so I think we've got a number of options there.
Yep, definitely. Put the CEO back in the CEO role. Leave the chief birthday officer role for someone else. Well, that's definitely some ways to help you make your way forward on that one.
Excellent. And, as always, everyone, thanks for listening. We hope you have a great week. If something resonated in this example, try it out. Let us know how you get on. And as always, if there's something else going on that you need some help with, or even this, you can always reach out to Emma and I. So until next time, bye for now.
Take care. Bye. Thanks for listening to Bad Work Stories Made Good with Emma and Karina. We hope you enjoyed this episode and that the perspectives we'd shared stimulate your thinking and are a catalyst for your own reflections and actions. If you have a bad work story you would like to share, get in touch at help@badworkstoriesmadegood.com. And if you enjoyed or have some feedback, please leave a review. We appreciate it. Till next time, may all your bad work stories be made good.